Welcome to Effective Evolution. And today we're exploring another beautiful region of Mars, and this is PIA 25988. And there are several areas that we'll explore, and we'll also incorporate some tools such as the tinting tools, transform tools such as the dodge tool, burn tool, and contrast brightness tools and whatnot. And as usual, we'll start off with some ideas and vivid imagination, and you'll probably notice some very interesting structures that would be indicative of certain types of extraterrestrial civilization or whatnot. And the symmetry, the designs, the patterns will all give the impetus for some type of interpretation. And let's take it from there. And please enjoy this episode of Effective Evolution, Mars PIA 25988. Areas that we'll be spending some time with. And as you can see, they are indicative of some very interesting types of topological designs, structures, patterns, or whatnot. This looks like some type of wall, or even some type of ridge at the top of this formation. There seems to be some depth here. Could this area have held water or some type of liquid in the past with Mars repertoire? And there are some interesting structures here too, not to mention these globular patterns and whatnot. Interesting structures in here as well. And just note this triangular formation and some structures here too. These are just a few, of course. Now, is that made by natural processes alone, i.e. nature, and also this design here with structures inside of it, circular formation? We'll explore those areas. PIA 25988 is Area A, quote, and it is peculiar in light of the fact that there seems to be a perfect triangle here, not to mention all of the various objects on this side that seem to have symmetry and location. There seem to be round globe-like objects, which could be types of domes or whatnot. And with the edit tool, just using some of the gadgets like the contrast brightness gadgets or whatnot, you could probably see that certain things pop right away, and you can see those images. Is this some type of city on this side? In light of all the symmetry and geometric shapes or whatnot, and the brightness of this particular area, and seems to have elevation, not to mention this area here as well. And in the background here too, you can see this topological view. Seems to be a basin or some type of formation with depth to it here. But you can come up with your own ideas, of course. And is this made strictly with nature's work, or what is it really? And here's another type of, quote, dome-like structure. Some structures here with elevation. And back to the initial object, which is this triangular pattern. And as we change some of the perspective with the gadgets, you can notice some very peculiar structures here. Now, is that made by nature per se? Or is it designed by some type of otherworldly civilization? Area B of PIA 25988. And that would be this particular area here. And rolling along to the various tools, we'll get to this particular region, and that would be this area here. It's a very nice pattern, you must admit, and you could probably note right away that there are some very peculiar structures inside and right in the center and on the outside as well. And nearby, around here, using the adjustment tools such as the exposure tool to play around with the shadows a bit. You can probably notice some more structures and whatnot. In particular, right in the center and on the perimeter of this quote circle or whatnot, there seems to be a very peculiar type of wall on this side, and this area here seems to have a circular globe or a dome-like structure on this side. Just notice the elevation of structures all over the place here in the perimeter or whatnot, and another globe-like structure there, dome-like structure and whatnot, and just notice this straight linear pattern here. And if we play around with the filters as well, you might notice some more detail. And are these structures made by another worldly type of civilization or whatnot? But the shape is the peculiar part. It's just too concentric, too symmetrical. If we go in a bit further, let's just explore a bit more, see what we can come up with. Could you notice some further detail here? I.e. various other structures or whatnot. And is that made by nature? There does appear to be some elevation around here as well. Just notice this linear pattern. And this circular object here is some dome-like structure here as well. Is this a city? Right in the center of this concentric design, there seems to be some elevation on this particular structure in the center. You can definitely see a bit more detail, some more symmetry, some more linear patterns. Very intriguing, you must admit. Adding some more filters. Let's see if we can come up with some more discoveries here. Is there symmetry here? Is there creation of another worldly type of mindset or whatnot? Is this a settlement of another worldly type of civilization? Another area, and this is the area right on the top of this ridge here. We'll call it Area C, and this is, of course, Mars PIA 25988, and incorporating some of the gadgets. We'll zoom in on here, see what we find. You probably noticed some very peculiar structures already with linear patterns, and the structure along the top here seems to be some type of wall, not to mention the intricate symmetrical patterns here. There's a globular dome-like structure, another rectangular structure here. And with the adjustment instruments, hopefully we can get some more detail out of it. You can probably notice structures all around here as well. Linear patterns on the perimeter. This isn't a high type of elevation. And of course, the scale would be a factor as well. If we move in a bit more, perhaps there's some more detail here to make a note of. And as you can see, there are some linear patterns along here. Just zoom in on this particular structure here, which seems to be some type of rectangular formation all along here as well. Is there a civilization here? Just notice these structures, linear patterns, and creative types of architecture. Applying some of the filters. Let's find out what we can here. Probably notice some more detail and whatnot. Just notice the peculiar symmetry here, linear patterns. Numerous dome-like globular structures. Incorporating some tinting or whatnot, we can find some more detail, hopefully. Just notice the length of this ridge here. With this scale, it could be anywhere around 500 meters to 2,000 meters or so in length. do seem to be some structures here as well. This is a very peculiar structure here, rectangular types of design. With the exposure, brightness, contrast, and brilliance and shadows gadget, things pop right away. And once you get things to pop, you can notice more detail. This is very intriguing, this area of Mars. PIA 25988 and Area C that we named it or whatnot. And this is the area here with some more adjustments regarding the various transformation tools. You can be the judge or whatnot regarding if there are in fact symmetrical structures here. And we're just playing around with the contrast brightness tools and exposure tools or whatnot. Is this a city here? And after going over the various areas of this area of Mars, PIA 25988, you must admit that the patterns and creations that we've come across are quite indicative of some otherworldly type of design, and whether these structures would lead to some type of interpretation of these vistas as maybe civilized villages or settlements or whatnot. For example, the rectangular formations and linear patterns that would be indicative of that ridge that would be Area C or whatnot. And it does look like some type of wall overlooking the steep slope in the back throw or whatnot, and not to mention the rectangular patterns or whatnot, and the triangular patterns too. And after going in a little more deeply or whatnot with regards to finding detail, you must admit that those structures are very imaginative. And please keep on with your exploration. And thank you once again for your time on effective evolution. Thank you for your time.